Creating a realistic scene in Blender has never been easier since we've got so many free resources. By the way, this is not me, I am only typing here in the matrix so you can better understand the process. Anyway, there are many free add-ons, plugins, objects, textures and collections of all sorts to get you started towards whatever your imagination can create. In this instance I have used Smithsonian's free object, command module, Apollo 11, a bunch of rocks quickly modeled and textured with random textures, and the Gscatter plugin with some free plants. I know I cannot pronounce correctly yet, for example the word plugin, or this other on plugin, but I know I will get there one day. First let's add our spaceship. The Smithsonian free model looks well enough to me. It comes with its own shaders, so just simply plug them into a principled material and you are all set. Then we add a simple environment with an HDR image that softly lights my scene. To add more lights I use planes with sky textures that drive color and emission. The lights inside the ship are again simple spheres with emission color. We could also add an astronaut, a free, unfinished model from Domenico D'Elisa, again apologies for my spelling. The astronaut was only mildly bashed to the head by simply moving some vertices around, so he could stay still inside the sunken ship. There is also some broken glass with a simple shader that has transmission. For the water I used a simple box that has a somewhat complex shader. This is made of 3 parts, a principled shader with some maps attached to it, a transparent shader that has its intensity driven by the camera ray with a light path node, and a volume shader to give it a murky depth look. On the principled shader the roughness map is the most important in order to have some disturbance across the surface. Obviously a noise texture will do for this with a color ramp to drive its contrast. An equally important map is the bump map, which is made of other differently sized noise textures mixed together by masks, again noise masks. The mix shader, made of the principled material and the transparent material, is driven by the camera light path, attached to a map range that allows us to tweak for our best look. And here comes in play that reddish volume shader, popping to life as we tweak our intensity on the camera ray path. To add a layer of detail to the water I also added some gunk. Simple planes with simple dirt or twigs textures, tiled together and mixed by our lovely and unmissable noise masks. I use many map range and ramps nodes to play with the contrast and intensities. Same textures go to diffuse and bump, and here there is also a tiny bit of subsurface scattering. Since water is transparent, we should also add the riverbed. Again a simple geometry, little deformed at vertex level, with a simple tileable texture that can be imperfect since it will be highly masked by our gunk, water volume and reflections. How did this got here? I just noticed an ambient occlusion map plugged into my water principled shader. Strange. Don't plug AO into diffuse chaps. Why not add in some rocks? Helindu, apologies for my spelling, provided a free model on Sketchfab. I only added some moss texture mixed by yet another noise mask. Gscatter plugin is a must for Blender. I populated my riverbed with some random plants that made the entire scene pop. Have a go at it and see what a nice plugin this is. The final step, before the magic of compositing, is to add a couple of mist volumes. These are simple boxes with principled volume shaders that have noise textures plugged into the density. This helps breaking a bit the perfection of the fog into wafts and plumes that billow through the scene. That is if you animate them a bit, maybe the location or the noise size to add more realism. Have you caught that one? Have you heard me saying, compositing? I mean, Neo here in the Matrix is typing correctly, he is certain of it, but I just cannot pronounce it well. Anyway, I hope you have learned a few tricks with this video, and we would like to ask if you'd want a similar breakdown for this new scene that the guy typing has finished. Let us know in the comments. Cheerios!